In the year 1324, a man named Mansa Musa walked the earth with a purpose so powerful, it shook nations. With 60,000 men and so much gold, he literally devalued money. He redefined wealth, not just in currency, but in legacy. 700 years later, in the concrete jungles of Miami, another king was born. He didn't wear a crown, but a beard. He didn't ride camels, but Maybachs. And like Mansa Musa, he didn't come to survive. He came to build an empire. This is not just about rap. This is about real power, ownership, and how one man transformed a correctional officer's paycheck into a multi-million-dollar empire. Like and subscribe if you're ready for wealth mode. The Comeup, from humble beginnings to boss status. Before the Maybachs, before the platinum plaques, before the franchise deals, there was William Leonard Roberts II, a young man from Carroll City, Miami, clocking in every day as a corrections officer. He wasn't born into wealth, he was born into reality. But Rick Ross knew something most people ignore. You don't have to come from a throne to build one. I always moved like a boss before I was one. That's why my first single was Hustling, Not Struggling. That track wasn't just music, it was a mission statement, an anthem for ambition. It was proof that vision, work ethic, and belief can rewrite anyone's story. Ross understood early on that mindset is the foundation of success, no matter your circumstances.
There's other people with worse situations as well, you know, and I was incarcerated and I bonded a few people out, you know, that was really stuck for almost a little or nothing the way I looked at it. So at the end of the day, it's just me being who I am and coming from where I'm from, and, you know, I feel like
he knew that patience, persistence, and self-confidence were the real currencies on the road to greatness. And that was no accident. Just like Mansa Musa didn't stumble into wealth, he inherited a kingdom and scaled it into the richest empire ever. Ross wasn't aiming for a hit record. He was building a dynasty. Legacy doesn't care where you start. It only remembers how far you build. And Ross, he was laying bricks before anyone knew his name. The power of branding, creating a legend. Rick Ross didn't just rap. He branded a feeling, a persona, a movement, the boss, the beard, the belly, the bravado, all symbols of power, and not by accident, by design. Just like Mansa Musa, who paraded across Africa handing out gold to display the wealth of his empire, Ross used music, fashion, and lifestyle to stamp his image onto the culture. He knew image wasn't vanity, it was strategy. Legend is about more than what you do. It's about how people remember you. Ross knew that the boss wasn't just a lyric, it was a legacy play. He embodied excellence so loudly the world had no choice but to listen. Mansa Musa gave out so much gold in Cairo that it triggered a 12-year economic depression. That's not just wealth, that's impact. Ross did the same in hip-hop, flooding the streets with artists, mixtapes, and investments that left an imprint. If you want generational wealth, you don't just chase cash, you chase identity. You control the narrative before someone else writes your story. Real power comes when your presence turns into a brand, and your brand becomes immortal. Mansa Musa didn't just stack gold, he built cities, funded mosques, elevated education. That's real power, not just hoarding riches, but multiplying them and using them to uplift generations. Rick Ross followed that same blueprint. He used rap as a foundation, not a ceiling. He understood early that music could open the door, but ownership would keep the lights on forever. Wingstop franchises. Ross owns over 30 Wingstop locations across the US, turning his love for lemon pepper wings into a profitable business. Some stores bring in over $200,000 annually, proving passion can be monetized when paired with vision. This venture shows Ross's keen eye for scalable businesses. He identified a growing market and leveraged his brand to create lasting revenue beyond music. Maybach Music Group, MMG. MMG became one of hip-hop's most influential labels, launching the careers of stars like Meek Mill and Wale. Ross didn't just build a label, he built a platform that gave artists ownership and voice. This approach disrupted the industry's traditional power structures and emphasized artist empowerment and entrepreneurship. Real estate. From his iconic 109-room Atlanta estate, formerly Evander Holyfield's mansion, to commercial properties, Ross invests in assets that grow over time. He believes in owning land, not just living on it, a true boss move. His investments in real estate demonstrate a long-term strategy focused on wealth preservation and generational legacy, turning tangible assets into financial security. Every boss has to diversify. If one stream dries up, another one keeps the empire going. Ross wasn't content with just verses. He bought back the block, created jobs, gave his people opportunities. He shifted from artist to architect, designing blueprints for others to follow. He understood a critical truth. Wealth is not just measured in money, but in impact. Real power is when your success creates success for others. Just like Mansa Musa's wealth elevated an entire empire, Ross built infrastructure that that lasts beyond music. He didn't just chase profits, he built purpose. How to become a modern-day Mansa Musa. So how do you step into Mansa Musa mode? You don't need a crown to think like royalty. You need vision, discipline, and the courage to move different. Greatness isn't given, it's built, one bold decision at a time.
When you see something that's inspiring to you, you could push the green light because you can say, yo, I like this. I want to buy in on this. I believe in this. I want to take this to the next level. And that's what you do, which I've done with several brands. When I got my first $1 million check, Def Jam Records, L.A. Reid, Jay-Z, I didn't buy a car that entire year. I just went and got it. I left no money on the table. I'm gonna state 5 important rules that apply to me because I believe everybody has their own silver lining. Well, for me, it's first and foremost desire. How much desire do you truly possess? I mean, you went to college, you got a master's degree. Does that make you successful?
Modern-day blueprint, own your story. Like Ross created The Boss and Mansa Musa broadcasted his gold pilgrimage. Your story is your brand. Control it, frame it, amplify it. People follow clarity and confidence. If you don't define your identity, the world will do it for you, and they'll get it wrong. Diversify like a king. Never rely on one stream. Whether it's music, business, real estate, or crypto, be versatile. Ross didn't stop at albums. He built franchises, created jobs, grew assets. The more you diversify, the more you multiply your power. Wealth is about options, not just income. Elevate your circle. Surround yourself with empire builders. Mansa Musa uplifted Mali's entire infrastructure. Ross brought up Meek Wale, producers, and countless others. Who you walk with shapes where you end up. Your environment can either sharpen your vision or shatter it. Choose wisely. Neither of these kings played small, didn't follow the crowd, they led. If you're gonna chase legacy, stop thinking like a pawn and start moving like a king. The throne doesn't wait for permission. It's claimed through purpose, action, and fearless belief. Think long, move legacy. Wealth fades, trends pass, but legacy, that's forever. Both Mansa Musa and Rick Ross understood one thing. Short-term moves don't build empires. Long-term vision does. Legacy isn't about being hot for a season. It's about being remembered for a generation. Ross didn't just make noise. He made structure. He didn't just make music. He made moves that outlived the charts. From Wingstop to real estate to launching careers, everything was done with the next 10 to 20 years in mind. That's chess, not checkers. You want to build wealth? Think long. Build slow if you have to, but build smart. Invest in what appreciates. Study the greats. Own more than you owe. Focus more on assets than applause. Legacy is built in silence and revealed in generations. Your Instagram might flex today, but your ownership will feed your family tomorrow. The goal isn't just to get rich, it's to become unforgettable. And that means asking yourself daily, are my moves building something that can't be erased? Don't just hustle for now, strategize for forever. Because a true king thinks beyond himself. He builds for his bloodline. Rick Ross didn't just succeed, he secured generational wealth using the Mansa Musa blueprint. Now it's your turn. Stop watching from the sidelines. Start building. Step into your greatness. Activate Mansa Musa mode. The world doesn't need more followers, it needs more builders. Your story could be the spark that lights up generations. Hit the like button, drop a comment below sharing your thoughts, and let us know how you're stepping into legacy. Subscribe to the Mansa Musa Mode YouTube channel for weekly game on wealth, power, and purpose. And don't forget to subscribe to our second channel, Mansa Musa Mindset, for deeper strategy and mindset elevation. This is more than content, it's a movement, it's a mission. Stay locked in, stay building, stay with Mansa Musa.